Hello everyone, I'm here with another scary story for you. This one comes from a Reddit user. I've had a few experiences that I'd like to share. The most recent was a few years ago when I was house hunting. My wife and I were looking for a fixer-upper in a rural area. We found an old farmhouse that was exactly what we were looking for, except it was a little too far gone. It needed a new roof, new windows, new electrical, and the place had obviously been empty for a while. As we were walking through, my wife noticed a well in the corner of one of the rooms. It was just an old stone well with a rusted ladder going down into it. There was no cover and it looked like it had even been cleaned out in a very long time. I'm not sure why, but it just felt wrong to me. I don't like wells in general, but there was something about this one that made me extremely uncomfortable. The real estate agent said she knew nothing about it and neither did the owner, who we met later that day. He said that he'd only owned the place for a few years and had no idea how or even if it was used. I told him I didn't want my kids playing around something like that. If it was used for water, it could be dangerous. He agreed and said that if we bought the house, he'd have it filled in. Well, a few days later, we got the place bought way under market value. It took a lot of work, but eventually we got it livable. It was well worth it. Now, neither my wife nor I are particularly religious, but I have to admit that when I saw the well, I kind of hoped that it would be filled in. But no, there it was. A couple of months after we moved in, I was working on some home repairs, and I needed a long board that I knew I could find in the old barn. As I was clearing out some junk, I came across a wooden box. Inside was a small metal box with a combination lock on it. I tried a few different combinations, but I couldn't get it open. It was then that I noticed the numbers on the lock didn't match the ones on the box. They were different, but they were the same sequence. It took me a while, but eventually I figured out that the second number was the month, and the first one was the day of the month. So the current month and day added up to the same number. That was weird, but what really freaked me out was what I found inside. It was filled with children's toys. All of them were old, like 1930s or 40s. There were dolls, a toy truck, a rocking horse. All of the toys were made by a company that has been in business for almost 100 years. I'll never forget my 4-year-old daughter's face when she opened that box and saw the toys. She turned white as a sheet and ran outside. I guess she thought they were real children's bones. To this day, she won't go anywhere near that. Well, and I have to admit I can't blame her. That's one creepy story. Remind me to never buy a house with a well again. Or maybe those are just all in your head. If you like this story, please share it with your friends. Also, check out these other stories, and thank you for watching.